80 is the new 60 probably. I don't know. It seems amazing what you're doing. You got me so wound up now. Like you're like, I'm ready to go.
With this stumble as well, like it was one of the most inspiring things I have ever seen in my life.
And I had a great year this year. I did 3 70.3s, which are the half Ironman distance. That's what they got.
God, on top of the full?
Attention. The party is about to commence.
Welcome to the party.
What up, party people? I'm Julie Foudy.
And I'm Abby Wambach. And guess what? The Kinger will be joining us a little bit later, so you're going to want to stick around. Julie, I need to tell you something that I'm doing right now, and I'm very excited about it.
Ooh, tell.
Okay.
Do tell.
So, mid-40s, perimenopause, body's not responding like it normally used to, can't do the things that I would do normally to get back to myself, feeling good, being strong, being active, like weights holding on in areas that they never were. What is going on with me? So this weekend I went to this doctor and got on this. I'm now on the protocol of like trying to live long. Okay. And also
what's the protocol? Trying to live long?
Yeah. Longevity.
Okay.
That's what I'm on right now. That's the thing that I'm.
That's a good protocol.
Kicking.
I'm on board with that.
But more than anything, I want to live long well, right? Like I don't want to be. I'm afraid that the wear and tear we did on our bodies from all of our professional sport days. And maybe I should just speak for myself here because it seems like you don't have any problems. So that's sad. That's a sad.
Oh, I got issues.
But like, I've just got joints that are old and arthritic and ouchy, and walking. Yeah,
you have no problem beating me on a Peloton every damn time. So, okay.
Yeah, but it hurts. Like I'll be limping for the rest of the day after our minute to win it. But the thing is that I'm a little bit like concerned with what my 50s, 60s, 70s, and hopefully 80s look like and feel like. And being in this like mid 40 period of time, I am trying to figure out how food interacts in my body. So I actually have the Signos glucose monitor on. I've gone to this doctor. I'm going to get supplements, peptides and whatnot. And also, folks, consult your doctors. This is not doctor advice. This is just what I'm doing. Because I want to learn how my body works. And I know that sounds wild because I do know in general how my body works, but I want to get into the granular details and I want to do all of the things that I possibly can so that my body can be able to maybe one day when I'm 80 years old, Julie, be able to do some challenges or races or things. Just to be able to walk around at 80 is what I'm searching for. And so
not like an Ironman at 80.
Exactly, which is leading us into our conversation with Natalie Grabow. But I'm feeling like really energized about it. We're coming into the end of the year. The holidays are approaching. And that's like, Jules, I had 6 grapes last night, 6 green grapes. And my glucose spiked to 212. Yeah, ideally we want to stay, I think, below 100 on average throughout the day. And like when you eat, it goes up because when you consume something, that you consume glucose or sugar or carbs, then your glucose goes up, and you have to your body produces insulin, and so then your body is always trying to achieve homeostasis. So, anyways, I'm not trying to do a doctor's thing here. What I'm saying is I'm pretty excited, feeling excited. And I'm going to be doing stuff, and I am going to be telling the party people about it, and we're going to go on this journey together.
I'm coming with then. Because I'm not real good at that stuff. I mean, I pay attention to eating healthy, and obviously I love sugary, stodgy. I mean, donuts were my thing for years. And I've tried to, oh my God, to still, like this morning I woke up and I was like, what I would give for a big donut bigger than my head. But I have learned that the stodgy, doughy, sugary stuff that I love is not great for my gut health and everything else that comes with that. So I've been better, like less processed foods, a lot more vegetables, a lot more plant-based stuff.
Trying to do it too. I'm trying.
It's hard.
And look, it's hard. And I was told that gluten is not my friend on Saturday. Mm-hmm. And gluten
really?
has been my best friend. But evidently it's also been my worst enemy. She'd be telling lies and she'd be side-eyeing me all the time, this gluten of mine. So I gotta be, I'm trying to figure my shit out. Cause
that's good.
You know, I want to be able to like do shit like Natalie. Yeah. Tell the party people about Natalie.
Yeah, we've got coming up next, 80-year-old triathlete, Natalie Grabow, who's
my dream guest.
Yeah, it was Abby's dream guest. She said it on the Today Show. They're like, who do you want? And she's like, 80-year-old Natalie Grabow. She is the record-breaking Ironman finisher. It should be Iron Woman finisher in like this incredible moment where she's the oldest woman to ever race in the Ironman. And mind you, people, it's long. It's a 112-mile bike ride, a 2.5 mile swim or 2.4 mile swim, 26-mile run. I did that in the wrong order, but it's swim,
you can't
bike,
forget the point 2.
26.2 mile marathon run, all back to back to back. But she's amazing. We're going to get to her. But before we get to her, and the Kinger is back for that conversation, which is fantastic because the Kinger just turned 82. But before we get to Natalie, let's get this party started with the highlights and headlines you'll want to celebrate this week in women's sports. Our party starter is brought to you by Ally, the bank that's your ally. All right, Abs. This one we're going to start with Emma Hayes.
So good.
Dropped a goodie because she's been getting a lot of questions on free agents leaving for European teams. Trinity Rodman obviously being the biggest name that people have been talking about. So during NWSL Championship weekend, during the U.S. Women's National Team games, she's been fielding lots of questions on why so many of these players are choosing Europe or heading to Europe. And she shot back recently in a presser she did during the NWSL Championship to a bunch of reporters that she wondered why U.S. men's coach, so U.S. men's national team coach Mauricio Pochettino, is not asked about American players going overseas while she constantly is. And Emma said it almost feels like we always have to ask that question because it's women. It's almost like as women, it's this sense of duty instead of let's celebrate the options that are in front of them. She emphasized that women finally have a real choice in where they want to play and that this should be celebrated, not scrutinized. And she said, you can have two things at once. The U.S. can have a strong domestic league and elite U.S. players competing abroad. And a little context, because years ago, as you know well, Abs, that pipeline for U.S. players was closely tied to playing and staying in the NWSL because U.S. Soccer subsidized those salaries and controlled player availability. And today's landscape is very different. And Hayes is urging people to update that conversation, which was a fabulous take.
I love this conversation because I think it needs to be said. This is a both and for me. I love what she's saying. The only thing I would definitely say as an addition to what she is saying is that I think that the reason why we're not talking about it with the men's team is because the leagues over there are better. The league here is better than the leagues over in Europe for the women's game. In the
Hot
men's
take.
Game, the men's game, the men's game the EPL, La Liga, it's doesn't compare to the MLS, right? And though the MLS is growing and it's getting better, I do think that overall all the teams in the NWSL are better in comparison to all the teams in the foreign and European leagues. Would you agree with that, Jules? Or
the hot take wasn't regarding the men's leagues, because that's not a hot take. Yes.
Yeah.
The hot take is the NWSL better than the leagues over in Europe? I think the parity of the NWSL is better. I think that the European players would argue that like a WSL, Women's Super League, although they don't have the parity of NWSL, the French league for sure doesn't have the parity. The Spanish league, we know for sure doesn't have the parity. Their top teams possibly could compete.
Their top teams compete, no question.
And they have, Champions
League. But not the
always
entirety
helps.
of the league, right? Not the entirety of the league. And the problem is if we keep losing some of these top US players to those leagues, then it's going to diminish and dilute the quality of the teams of the NWSL. So yes, and I hear it. And I think that like what she's saying is true, that these players, if there are the options and they want to go play and they want to go find the money, wonderful. And also it's not just about the money. Like I had dreams and hopes of playing, and we're going to talk more about this. This is not the totality of the party starter, folks. We have more news. We're going to talk about this in a bigger episode coming up. I think it's really a good topic and an important one for us to keep having, because clearly we're just still working through some stuff right here, right now. Next up on the topic block of the party starter, we've got no Black female head coaches in the WNBA. Now, I think that this is a really important thing with all the changes that are happening in the WNBA, all the new teams, the new investments, new leagues forming around women's basketball. Yeah, there's still a lot to figure out with the CBA. And there's a lot of excitement about the future of the sport. But one area that to me doesn't get the attention is who's holding the power, right? In the coaching and in ownership. And whether women, especially women of color, are being represented in those roles, right? So after reading a piece by Erica Ayala on CBSSports.com, it felt really important to me to bring this up because Ayala shares that since the end of the 2023 season, 13 of the league's 15 teams have hired new coaches. And at the time of this recording,
that's in the last 2 years.
None of those hires. Exactly. 13 out of 15 teams in the last 2 years, none of those hires are Black women. Let's just let that sit, folks. I'm not even none. Now, with Noelle Quinn not returning to Seattle, the league is heading into the 2026 without a single Black woman in a head coaching role, something that only happened twice before. Ayala lays out why the gap matters in a league where most of the players are Black women. And for us, part of supporting women's sports is continue to talk about where representation is strong and also where it is missing. So to shine a light, to draw attention, and hopefully to help push the game forward better, more inclusive leadership, we are hoping for that, to widening the path, not narrowing it.
All right, our next topic is a women's sports betting app, Abby. I'm very conflicted on this. It's so interesting. So we wanted to talk about it, but I'm very conflicted. Another whole episode we could do on this one. And I'm conflicted on it because I have a 16-year-old son and I see how 16-year-old boys bet all the time. Like this is very common and it irks the hell out of me. I have this conversation with my son Declan all the time. Like this is a bad thing that is happening, right? We do not want to get addicted to betting. The Gist is reporting that a new app called Rival announced plans to become the first sports book built exclusively around women's sports. And they're aiming to launch in 3 U.S. betting markets by 2026. And the platform would include wagering across NWSL, WNBA, NCAA women's basketball, the WSL, so Women's Super League, the WTA, tennis, and more. And essentially, it's flipping the traditional model where women's sports are a smaller slice of a larger menu. And it's interesting because it shows obviously the growth of women's sports. And I love that there's a market. But as I was just saying, I'm not sure it's an entirely healthy one. And especially when you're starting at 16.
Do all the other apps and betting sites, do they allow for women's betting? Like, are you allowed to bet on women's sports on those sites? I wonder. I have no idea. I'm not in the betting world.
Yes, I'm not in the betting world either. I think you can. I think this one is exclusively built around women's sports.
Just women. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we've got makeup brands investing in women sports. To the party people, here's an interesting trend that the sports business is reporting on. Over the past 2 years, the beauty industry has become one of the fastest growing new investors in women's sports, with brands like Glossier, Elf, and Elemis leading the charge. These partnerships are less about makeup ads and more about tapping into cultural relevance and younger audiences who research shows are more loyal to brands that support women's sports. Deloitte projects revenue in women's sports to reach $2.35 billion by 2025.
Jeez.
And sponsorships, much of it coming from the beauty industry, is the biggest driver. That's wild. It's another sign that women's sports aren't just having a moment, Jules. They're becoming market leaders, finally being recognized for their commercial power. So that is your party starter, folks. And thanks to Ally for sponsoring this segment. As we know, Ally is more than a bank, and their do-it-right approach helps customers unlock their economic potential and guides their efforts as a leading sponsor in women's sports. Just like us, Ally believes that when women in sports win, we all have a reason to party. Ally Bank, member FDIC. And up next, do not forget, you're going to want to stick around. The Kinger is back with us, and we've got the guest that I have been manifesting for months, Natalie Grabow. Stay right here. We'll be right back.
Abigail's.
Yeah.
Mary. You know very well that we spent a lot of time on the road while we were playing. A lot of time. And yes, it was a gift for sure, because we got to see all these amazing places and go to all these places I would have never gone to, which was so fun. But I learned quickly, like, where you stay makes a big difference. Huge difference, right? Yeah. So when I was playing with the national team and well beyond college, but our college friends would all get together still all the time, and they'd want to go to Tahoe all the time because Tahoe was, of course, who doesn't love Tahoe? It's the best. And they would pick all these different hotels, and I was like, I can't do that anymore. So we got this Airbnb instead of a hotel, and it's amazing because, one, you all gather. It's all cozy. It's a place where you can actually sit together and cook together and hang out together. And then you have these huge windows overlooking the mountains, and it just feels like home. It doesn't feel like you're on the road, which is the gift of Airbnb. And it's what I love most about booking homes through them, is that just there's more space, there's more comfort, there's more rooms for Abby so she can, quote,
there's more
sleep
connection.
Loudly.
There's more connection with your friends that you're there with. There's more connection.
Yeah, and more rooms for you so you can sleep loudly. Snore. And here's what I know. Here's what I also learned while I was traveling nonstop. I could have been hosting my own home on Airbnb.
We should have been doing this all along.
Yeah, and now it's easier than ever thanks to the co-host network. You can literally hire a local co-host to help manage everything. Your listing, your reservations, your guest messages. And if you wanted, they'll even give you design and styling tips. I mean, they handle everything so that you don't have to. So I highly recommend it. Find a co-host at airbnb.com/host. Go do it. Even now, off the field, I still, of course, want food that fuels me properly. And even better if it's got a good mission behind it, like Mosh Bars. After watching her father struggle with Alzheimer's, Maria Shriver teamed up with her son, Patrick Schwarzenegger, to start MOSH. Their mission is to spark a conversation about brain health through food, education, and research.
And they're the first and only food brand boosted with cognizine, a premium nootropic that supplies the brain with acetylcholine. Okay. And let me just say, Mosh bars taste amazing. My favorite right now is the chocolate chip cookie. It's plant-based and it tastes like dessert, honestly, but it gives me the protein and nutrients I want.
And if you want to find ways to give back to others and fuel your body and your brain at the same time, Mosh bars are the perfect choice for you. Head to moshlife.com/welcome to the party to save 20% off plus free shipping on the bestsellers trial pack or the new plant-based trial pack. That's 20% off plus free shipping on the either bestseller trial pack or the plant-based trial pack at moshlife.com/welcome to the party. Thank you, Mosh, for sponsoring this episode.
This episode of Welcome to the Party is brought to you by Ally Financial. We love that Ally is more than just a bank. They've got this do-it-right approach that shows up everywhere.
That's right, because Ally actually helps customers unlock their economic potential, all while powering the growth of athletes, fandom, and leagues across women's sports. And as we know, it's been anchored by a historic commitment to increasing visibility by, get this, spending equally on men's and women's sports media.
The best.
Ally truly does it right. And they've had official partnerships across the NWSL, WNBA, USGA, Unrivaled, and drumroll please, beyond that, now that includes this podcast too. So welcome to the party, Ally.
And Ally consistently earns accolades as the best online bank, praised for its intuitive app, no monthly fees, smooth navigation, and competitive interest rates, even without minimum balances required.
And here's what we truly love. The same way as Abby was talking about that Ally puts customers first in banking, they put women first in sports. And they are literally making history with equal spending on men's and women's sports media. And that's why they're the perfect partner for Welcome to the Party. Visibility, equity, empowerment, it all connects, party people.
Whether you're here for the show or looking for a bank that truly has your back, Ally's got you covered. Ally, the bank that's your ally. Ally Bank, member FDIC.
Okay, and now to the partiest part of our party. There are athletes who inspire us, and then there are athletes who stop us in our tracks, who make us question what limits even are. And today's guest is absolutely one of those people. At 80 years old, Natalie Grabow became the oldest woman to ever finish the full distance Ironman World Championship in Kona. And just a reminder, party people, that is 2.4 miles of swimming, a 112-mile bike ride, and same day, a 26.2 mile, that's a marathon, run in the brutal heat and humidity, surrounded by athletes that are half, even a quarter her age. And Natalie, get this, is a retired software engineer from New Jersey, a mother of 4, a grandmother of 2, and she only learned to swim at 59 years old. And since then, she's competed in 10 Ironman races, defying every silly expectation about age and endurance, and instead proving what's possible when you just keep moving forward. She's been everywhere lately. The New York Times, NPR, People Magazine. But we're especially excited because this has been on our wish list for Welcome to the Party. Abby even shouted it out on the Today Show recently.
Okay, my dream guest right now is Natalie Grabow.
So today we get to make Abby's wish come true, and all of ours too, because party people, we're talking to the unstoppable, unshakable, truly extraordinary Natalie Grabow. Natalie Grabow, welcome to the
party! Woo, woo, woo. Natalie!
Yeah.
Oh
Natalie,
my gosh!
we got her.
It's my pleasure. Are you? But I don't want my children to think that they have two siblings that are missing. So I have two children and four grandchildren.
Oh, my bad. My
Wow.
bad. Okay,
So that's
good.
okay.
This is great. Three
I just-
generations.
Two
You
children,
know,
mother of two, grandmother of four. Correction. We'll make it. Thank you.
I keep trying to envision this triathlon and an 80-year-old Natalie, you doing it. Why do you do it? How do you do it? I don't get it.
Well, there's a couple questions there. I do it because I love it. I love moving. I love training. I like that better than the race itself. I just need to do something every day, so that's why I love it. And this was a great challenge for me because no one had ever completed it at 80. So the oldest woman was Cherie Gruenfeld at 78. And I had a great year this year. I did 3 70.3s, which are the half Ironman distance. That's what they call that.
God, on top of the full, you did 3
Yeah.
half Ironmans?
Well, and I did
Is it part of your training, Natalie,
two of them,
to
two
do
of them were only
those
2
halves?
weeks. Two of them were only 2 weeks apart. So I was really
Oh my
happy
gosh.
to have. I did one in Maryland, one in Mont Tremblant, Canada, and then one in upstate New York. And I felt great after each of them, and I did really well in them all. And so I went into this race with a lot of confidence.
You keep saying, and I feel great after the race. I feel great after this race. And I'm like, how can you feel good
Well, 'cause
after hours and hours of
because you
just
train,
killing
you train,
yourself?
you train for it. You don't just do it.
Of course.
It's 21 years of training, really, of consistency. Consistency is the key to everything, of staying on that fine line, the right side of the fine line of not getting injured so that you can get up and do something each day. And the beauty of triathlon is that you have the 3 sports. So if you have a foot injury, you can bike or swim. And if you have a shoulder injury, you can bike and run. So that's the thing that I love about it, because I love to do something every day, at least one thing. Preparing for my races, I do quite often 2 workouts a day. So I just eat a lot.
Yeah.
I eat,
Really?
I mean, honestly, that might be the only reason why I would ever do this, so I could eat twice as much.
Yeah.
I could
But
have donuts
Natalie-
3 times a day.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
there
you.
you go.
I'm curious about the mentality that goes into this. Like, was there something that switched when you started training for triathlons and you learned how to swim in your late 50s? Like, what mentally do you have to have in order to, because the way that I think about this kind of training is there's a lot of suffering involved and a lot of like mental strength that you need to have.
There's a lot of mental
is there a part
strength.
of your training that you work on the mentality piece, or like was there some sort of event that happened that you were like, this is now the person that I am? Like, how does this happen?
I think it happens when you're born. You're born with a competitive spirit. And I wasn't able to do anything as a girl. We had no sports. We wore dresses. We watched the boys. In high school, I was a cheerleader. And you forget that I was born in 45. So it took a long time for Title IX and all that. And so when I had my girls, I played a little tennis. I wasn't real good. But, I played
Kinger
tennis.
gave her a yes.
Yeah, baby.
And then when I went back to work, I started running because that was something I could do in a short time and get fit. To go to your question, it's something that I've always been competitive. I've always wanted that outlet to compete. And so when I was running, I started entering 5Ks and 10Ks, and I loved it, and I did very well. I won my age group most of the time. So I was a very good runner, and so I've always loved competing and doing my best. And so it's not, I don't think anything is suffering. It's I have a very strong mind. I can sit on the trainer on a bike with just my music for 5.5 or 6 hours, and I can be fine because I love it. I know it sounds a little weird at my age. Now, I get together with my high school girlfriends at least twice a year, and when we started getting together 25 years ago, they looked at me strangely. They watched what I ate, and they couldn't figure it out, but they've come to accept it. which is, very good because I don't have to explain myself why I bring my bike and why I go out for my runs and stuff. So, they've come to terms with it. But it's just a love of mine for sports. I had, my one daughter supports me in my big races. I could do it, but she makes it so much more fun. She comes out and she just is such a wonderful, she rents a bike and she puts lights all over her and she's out there on the course. Mom, you're doing great, Mom. And so it's just wonderful having her there. So
Can you explain to the Pod Squad? So we have our listeners,
Party
some
people.
of them, the party people, they may not be completely educated on what Ironmans and cutoffs and whatnot. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
sure, and it only really affects the slower people, but you have to finish the swim in 2 hours and 20 minutes, or you can't go on.
Wow.
Really?
And then you have to finish. There's a midway point on the bike. It's a turnaround point, and you have to be there at a certain time, or you can't go on. And then you have to finish the bike at a certain time, or you can't go on to the run. And then there's at least one or two cutoffs during the run, where they look at your pace and say, okay, at that pace, you're not going to finish under 17 hours. So, because they need to open up the roads and all that kind of thing. So, it's not like some races that you can continue on forever, but so there are cutoff times. So
How many people actually don't finish the race?
there are
Natalie.
quite a number. I don't know how many,
Right.
but there are some, and it's a very strict 17 hours. You could be 1 second over it, and no.
Really?
What when I think of, like, I'm 54 and my body, when I run too much, is very clear about this is too much. I still love to run, but I can only do it a few days a week, and it's about like 3 miles. But it like is very clear. Like my hip starts hurting, my back gets tight. So at 80, to do the mileage you do and the distance you do, how does your body and joints and all of that handle it?
Well, I have to tell you, I don't run that much. So my total mileage per week is never more than 20 miles total.
Okay.
So I do like maybe 2 or 3 short runs that are like 30 minutes, 30 or 45 minutes during the week and in preparation for an Ironman. And then I do a long run on Sunday, and that's a combination of a run walk. So that's a run for a mile, walk for a minute, run for a mile. Because that's basically what you do in a race at my age. You walk through the aid stations, and they're located about every mile on the run course. And that's when you get your hydration, your nutrition,
Okay.
every place you can put it. And because it's so hot and humid there, the trick is, if you saw any of the pros this year, they overheated and they had to stop. They were leading, and they just couldn't go on because their bodies got so hot. For me, having been there 10 times before was so helpful because I'm used to knowing what it's like, the heat, the wind, the humidity. It's just really hard. So, I was familiar with that, and I think that really helped.
My mom and I used to talk about this. She'd go, she was 80. She'd go, I have to talk to you. Just come and sit down. And she'd go, Billie, I want you to know you just never stop moving, because if you stop moving, it's over. And you're reminding me of that quote from my mom and how insistent she was to keep moving.
That's good. That's
And
nice.
here at 80 years old, you're really teaching us to keep moving, to keep doing our thing. But I just, as a person who was born in the same era, it's so interesting to hear how you went through, like, you didn't have the opportunities and now you're taking advantage of it, which is great. And I think the new 80, I think the 80 is the new 60 probably. I don't know. It seems amazing what you're doing and setting such a great example for us, though. I mean, you've got me so wound up now. Like, you're like, I'm ready to go. I mean, let's go. And so I think it's fantastic to listen to you at any age.
Well, I feel so lucky that I can do this. This is what, when you watch, a group of cyclists go, and you haven't gotten there yet, or you're not allowed to, you haven't gotten a tri bike yet, and you say, oh, someday I'd like to do that, and you get to do this. How lucky am I that I get to do this now? I just love it. I'll do it as long as I can. So maybe some of the women who had those opportunities young, maybe at certain ages, they say, okay, I've done that, I'm going to move on to something else. But it's important to keep moving, I think, even if you don't, compete or whatever. So
yeah, and talk about being a North Star for all of us that will be coming behind you. You had a bit of a North Star with your friend Sherry Grunfeld or Grunfield, and I'm curious because she was the one that you hugged when you crossed the finish line, which to me it made me weep when I watched the video.
Yeah, she was
Natalie.
very, very generous with her comments, and she had texted me, when she found out I was there, because they don't publish who's competing. You don't really know who's going to show up, so I didn't even know whether she might be racing or not. But she just, wished me a lot of luck, and she was just very sweet at the end.
Take us to the moment, Natalie, if you would, of actually crossing that finish line in Kona. I mean, that was amazing to see. And that video, just like to Abby's point of bringing us to tears, like that brought me to tears. I was like, oh my gosh, this woman has just done this.
That was embarrassing for me with my little tumble. That was very
explain
unexpected.
that for people who haven't seen it, and we'll put it in the show
There's
notes.
a little uphill, and there's carpeting, and I guess I just didn't see it, didn't pick up my foot, whatever, and I was just so surprised. How did I get on the ground here? And so I just wanted to get rid of that and get up and pretend it didn't happen. So that was shocking. So anyway, then the rest is a blur, and then Cherie was there, and actually the guy who put the towel around me was my coach came, and that was her husband who was working the finish line. So and then it was just wonderful because so many people were so happy for me, and so that was just a great feeling. And my daughter was there at the end then, and my coach, and it was just, we have a lot of traditions, my daughter and I, for the going back to the house, and then the next day for breakfast, and so she's done this with me for so many years. So we have so much fun and a lot of laughs and a lot of traditions of what she gets me for breakfast, and I stay in bed and eat my breakfast and have to rally for the awards dinner that night.
You just said that you might have had a little embarrassment around that little stumble. But the truth is, you've just covered 140 miles through swim, bike, and run. And there are such a few human beings on the planet that could get to that point in general without having collapsed or fallen. Like, you just tripped, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But you just got right up.
Oh, yeah.
And you still crossed that finish line. And that, to me, honestly, I was like, yes, keep going. Let's go.
Yeah.
And you finished. And I just, with the stumble as well, that was the most, it was one of the most inspiring things I have ever seen in my life.
Well, thank you.
And I'm so grateful to you for not only coming on here and having, getting the chance to talk to you, because what you've done is so rare.
There's so many wonderful, strong women who competed that day and did so well at their age group too, and they inspire me too. I mean, there's some great women coming up, and they're gonna compete at 80, I'm sure, and do well. So they'll you'll see more and more.
Okay, let's be honest. Most bras were designed by people who
Facts.
have never worn one. Okay?
Yes.
It was founded by women who were done settling for just good enough.
Yeah.
Okay? These bras, Jules, actually solve real fit problems. extra lift, no spillage, no digging, just comfort that lasts all day. And they're made with high quality materials and even thermoregulating fabrics. So Jules, you know us, we're getting towards that menopause.
I was just going to say, I am so appreciative of that. Yes, thank you.
Stay cool. And did you know that they have 60 plus sizes from
Incredible.
AA to H, including the half cup sizes? Because, you know, our boobs are just not the same size. You usually have one that's bigger than the other. It's like so weird, but that's just the way it is.
My sister calls me for lopsided.
But they invented this for us in betweeners, right? So seriously, half cups. How has nobody thought of this before?
I don't know.
It seems
brilliant.
Kind of unfair that it's taken this long. Thank you, Third Love, for thinking of all of our boob sizes. Okay, so mine, the ones that I'm reaching for without even thinking, they are that good. And if you can see me out in the wild, I am 100% wearing one, and you can't see it because it's under my clothes, so I'm just going to tell you about it here instead. I promise I'm wearing them. Stop settling for average bras. Get solutions made for your body. Get $15 off your first purchase at thirdlove.com with code podcast15. That is podcast15.
Thank you for not flashing us. This show is sponsored by MIDI Health. Thank you, MIDI Health. And Abs, I'll be honest, I used to think that I had my body down to a science, right? I knew what I needed, what it could handle, how to get back on track. And then life threw at me perimenopause and menopause. And suddenly I was like, what is happening? Why did someone change the settings on me? I don't get it. Like, temperature settings changed, everything. I had all these symptoms, these questions, a lot of fog and no clear places to turn. And that's why MIDI Health becomes this absolutely game changer, because they're actually bringing real expertise to the phase of life. Most women are expected to just like figure it out.
It's so annoying.
Yeah. And I'm like, what do you mean? I don't even know what the hell this is. How am I supposed to figure it out?
Exactly.
With MIDI, you can meet online with clinicians who specialize in perimenopause and menopause, and they can actually explain like what's happening, why you're feeling that way, and how, most importantly, you can feel better. They support everything from hormone health to sleep to mood to energy and weight management, and it's all through personalized care that's covered by insurance.
So good.
Because here's what we know. This stage of life isn't ending. So you got to wrap your arms around it, party people. It's a transition that we're going to handle just fine. And you deserve care that meets you right where you are. Ready to feel your best and write your second act script? Yes. Yep. Visit joinmidi.com today to book your personalized insurance covered virtual visit. That's joinmidi.com. MIDI, the care women deserve. Abs. Here's the thing about being a great gift giver. Well, I don't even know if I could say. No, I'm not a great gift giver. It's not my love language. Here's my problem. When you find something like that's perfect for someone on your list, you almost don't want to give it away. And that's where I fall into the problem of like, oh, well, I think I should just have this as well. That's exactly what happened with Quince on my last order, right? It's like so soft, so well made. I had a real moment of wanting to keep it for myself. So I did. Luckily, Quince is so affordable. I can do that. And I can deck out my friends or family in like cashmere, for example. At the same time, they have this Mongolian cashmere sweater. So their Quince Mongolian cashmere sweater, it starts at $50. And literally you'd normally pay like $200 for something like that. And you can wear it on repeat, which is really nice. And then they've got denim that goes with everything. Beautiful silk tops if you want to get fancy, even skirts. Want to look put together? Okay, let's go. Cashmere beanies, I could see you in those. And scarves, down jackets actually keep you warm.
Yeah.
Let's
go.
So my Mongolian cashmere crew neck sweater in Heather Storm Blue. I love Heather Storm Blue, by the way. is the ultimate closet staple. I literally practically sleep in this sweater. I love it so much. So find gifts so good you'll want to keep them like I do with Quince. Go to quince.com/welcome to the party for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada as well. That's quince.com, QUINCE.com/welcome to the party to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/welcome to the party. Okay. We're going to do our final segment, Natalie. It's Party Poppers and rapid fire questions that pop. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, you're ready. She's like, yes. Okay.
Yes.
What's your favorite?
She's born ready.
What is your favorite pump up song or the music you listen to that inspires you when you're training?
Oh gosh, I just turn on the radio, and whatever comes on, I listen to. I don't have a playlist.
That's our generation, baby. Turn on the radio.
I just turn on the radio.
It's so
Awesome. Okay, here's the second question. What would your 15-year-old self be most surprised about with your 80-year-old self?
Oh gosh, that I learned to swim.
What do you eat before you race on race day?
Cheerios and blueberries, and with 2% milk and orange juice and coffee. It's what I eat every morning.
Oh, there you have it, party people.
We should talk about consistency.
Right.
What could you tell us about misconceptions, that people have about aging? What could you pass on to them?
Well, it's hard to say. I don't understand the mentality of being okay getting older. I don't want to ever feel like I'm getting older, and I don't understand why you would want to accept getting older. And so I think just fight that. Just keep moving and doing things and being interested in things. And I think moving your body is an important part of that, but also, reading books or keeping your mind mentally active and all that. It's all part of it. But I think the physical part, it just, for me, it helps my mental state of mind as well. If I'm strong physically, my husband needs a lot of care. I'm his caretaker. If I weren't as strong mentally and physically, I couldn't help him like I do. Be the best that you can be. Not everybody's blessed with the same talents, but I've always just wanted to be as good as I can be, and that's what I try to tell my girls. Not everybody's going to be the best, but if you just take advantage of what you have and do the best, then you can't ask for more than that.
I think that is the perfect note to end this on, Natalie.
Agreed.
So
Totally
well
agreed.
said. And that's it. That's exactly it. Whatever you can do, be the best version of yourself. It doesn't have to be running an Ironman if that's not your thing.
Right.
But just keep moving. Good things happen when you keep moving. And thank you for being a North Star for us for this, and I know for so many other people and what you've been able to do.
It's been great to meet you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's so great to meet you too. You made this girl over here's wish come true. Thank you so much for coming on and joining us and just spreading your attitude of gratitude. I mean, I think it is such a healing way to live. And as all of us, because we're all aging here, no matter what age you're at, party people,
It happens.
you can get out and go for a walk. You can do it. If Natalie can do it, we can. If Natalie can complete an Ironman, we can go for a walk.
That's right. That's
Thank
right.
you,
All right. Last
Natalie.
thing we do, Natalie, is we do a little party pose on 3. Okay? So any fun little party pose you want, and it's like we take a picture at the end of the party. Are you ready?
Okay.
Do you want to think about it? You don't need to think about it. Whatever comes to mind. Okay, on 3.
I'm gonna watch you guys and see what you do.
Okay, you can wreck. 1, 2, 3. I was trying to portray strength. That's That's what you are, strong. I loved having her on. Oh my goodness. Kinger, what resonated with you? Because I know everything probably.
I think just explaining her life, like not having Title IX. She was born competitive. She's just the perfect person to listen to know what she's done in her later life. But when she was growing up, she didn't have all these opportunities that we have now. And I know the younger generations. I know they're not going to get it, but some of them, occasionally you get an athlete today that's young that gets it, and they really appreciate what came before them. I mean, I've always been indebted to like Title IX. I mean, I got to know Senator Birch Bayh really well, and he's one of the co-authors. And how they decided to leave activity in the law because they kept taking it out, putting it back in, and he said, you know what? We finally said just leave activity in. Let's see what happens. And then he saw what Title IX did for women's sports.
Yeah. One quick note on that, which is so cool, is he said that they put it in a small font. Abby, I don't know if you've ever heard this story. The sports activity part of that, to Kinger's reference, they put it in a small font as like a separate little thing as part of it, was because it was an educational amendment, because they didn't want to draw attention to it, because they felt if they drew attention to it, people would strike it and not vote for it. So they put it in a small font.
Brilliant.
And kind of put it in there and said, okay, don't even mention that we put that in there, the activity
like
piece of it.
Yeah, it was like an add-on. Just like, just kind of like, this little nothing.
Well,
It's
the
crazy.
thing that I loved about Natalie that I am forever changed about is I think this idea that as we age, we believe that we're supposed to just start doing less so as to avoid any kind of discomfort or doing hard things, right? And I think what she does is turns towards, especially early in the day, to get your workout done early in the day. We call it eating the frog in our family. Do the worst thing first thing. But turning towards the difficult thing, as we age, it doesn't mean that we're going to live an ease-free, a difficult-free life and just live a life of ease. Like, turning towards that difficult thing for a period of your day just makes the day better. And I knew that as an athlete. I know that now as a retired athlete, but I want to maybe turn towards something more difficult. Maybe we should think about training for something, Jules. Billy, what do you guys want to train for something? Let's do it.
Okay.
I want to keep hitting. No, I just want to keep hitting tennis balls. I am so excited. I can do about 50 minutes and I am finished. I am kaput.
If it isn't running, or if it isn't, like, if that's not making you feel good, find what makes you feel good. Go to a yoga class, or go to another class, like with a friend, or go for a walk. Like, it's so true. Like, there are so many things that can keep you moving.
I think some people need people with them. They really love, like, I know this one woman just loves cycling.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
She likes it because the people are there. It's about relationships.
Yeah. All right, party people. Don't forget to subscribe to the Welcome to the Party YouTube channel, right? So you can actually see us and see the Kinger. Click that little bell icon so you get updates when new episodes go live.
Yeah. I think that the rating and reviewing, I read them. That is my new form of social media. I love it. Subscribe to this podcast wherever you get your podcasts, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify. And then also be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Welcome to the Party Show. That's where Julie, Billy, and I will bring this party straight to your feed. And again, thanks again to Kate Diaz for our theme music. We love it. Do you guys want to do USA, USA, USA?
We are gonna do an USA, USA, USA. Kinger, pause in. You want to lead us in on this, or do you want me to?
No, you lead, because this is your thing. You own it. You guys own it.
All right, we're doing USA, 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 on three. From the soul. 1, 2, 3. USA, USA, USA,
Give me the ball.
Welcome to the Party is an independent production brought to you by Treat Media. Treat Media makes art for humans who want to stay human. Silver Tribe is our production partner, and you can also watch our full conversations on the Welcome to the Party YouTube channel and follow us at Welcome to the Party Show on Instagram and TikTok.